All right, the mics are hot.
The mics are hot, baby. Baby. Hotter than Noah Gragson.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. Jamie, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing fantastic. I just can't believe that I'm still here and alive.
You're just that happy, huh?
Oh, yeah. Right side of the dirt once again.
You never know, man. You never know.
You don't.
We could have that episode one day where it's just me on here, and it's like, yep, well, Jamie is on the wrong side of the dirt now.
Yeah?
I don't know that I would actually be recording that day, though.
Well, you might as well. I'm not going to have a service at all. It's a waste of time for everybody.
So how do you...
And I'm dead. So
I've come to the realization that it's up to my family. Whatever they want to do, they can do. But if it was up to me, my wishes is to be cremated, and as my family walks out of the hospital with my ashes, I want them to look back and make sure somebody's looking, and then just throw them in the garbage. Floop, and then just keep on walking.
I mean, you're gone. Your soul's somewhere else. Why not?
It's just for the reaction, you know? Like they just threw his burned ashes in the garbage. Or just dump them out in the ashtray.
Where can you find an ashtray anymore?
Yeah, you got a good point there.
I mean,
now it's a vape tray.
Now
they have vaping areas.
I was at an antique place last weekend, and they had an ashtray. Those nice little spindles and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember, when I was a kid, my grandparents had it in their house.
You'd make sandcastles?
With their ashes?
Look at this castle I built, Grandpa. Get out of my ashtray, boy. I don't remember an ashtray. My grandfather smoked a pipe, so I don't necessarily remember an ashtray, but I know I had my own pipe too, so he would take his pipe.
Well, you didn't smoke tobacco, right?
Well, no, he would hold my pipe over his pipe and let the smoke go up in it, and then hand it to me so I could suck the smoke in and blow it out.
Oh, cool.
So I could pretend I was smoking like my pa.
You didn't buy a bubble pipe? I used to have one of those. I love that thing.
That'd blow bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably been safer.
You put the pipe in the bubbles and you blow out instead of suck in.
Is that so that wasn't like secondhand smoke I was getting. That was like 1.5 hand?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, that's almost direct.
But I don't think you inhale, not being a pipe smoker, I don't know. We'll have to ask our buddy Chris. He smokes pipes.
I don't think I was in hell. I think I was probably just blowing through the pipe like a kid.
Don't you just puff a pipe?
I don't know. I mean, I've never been a pipe smoker.
Or do you inhale it?
No idea. Is there a proper etiquette to smoking a pipe?
I don't think you...
All right, I got to pause this because it's killing me. There we go. It's driving me insane. I had the video of the recap of the race.
5 times speed.
Yeah, playing on max speed in the background, and it's just throwing me off.
That was a good subject change because if we actually could race at, say, 380 miles an hour...
It looked a lot better.
It'd be quicker than an NFL game. I think ratings would go up.
That was crazy. It looked like Denny Hamlin and was running like 340 miles an hour faster than the guy in second when he passed him there when it's running on 2 times speed.
And I think we could fix the car problems, at least when it comes to the injuries, airbags. What do you think?
I think
once they deploy, you're done.
But what happens when...
Or can they pull in the pit road?
What happens at Talladega on the last lap coming out of turn 4?
Everybody's pumped.
When somebody starts drafting too hard, bump drafting, and their airbags start going off, the leader's airbags are popped out.
Well, you're out of the race. Well, I bet you could put an airbag.
Every car wrecks on the last lap coming out of turn 4 at Talladega because airbags are deployed.
What if you had an airbag in the steering wheel and, the way you plug and unplug a steering wheel? Yeah. You just pull in with your balloon and they change out the steering wheel for you and then you're protected again.
Yeah, but you've wiped out the whole field at Talladega because you got bumped too hard.
Well, they're going to wipe out anyway, so.
Joey's going to wreck them.
Yeah. Joey's going to cause 2 big ones and win the race.
Joey, I wasn't blocking. I was changing lanes and he was in my way. I wanted my car to be in all 3 lanes. Hey, big news last week. Jimmie Johnson is going to retire from full-time racing starting next season. He is going to focus on running bucket list races, but he is done with full-time racing.
So do you think that includes NASCAR races?
Well, so somebody mentioned North Wilkesboro to him, and they said he got sparkles in his eyes when North Wilkesboro was brought up.
Really? Sparkles? He's in love?
I don't think anybody's ever got sparkles in their eyes.
I've seen someone angry and thought their eyes turned red, but never saw sparkles. It's like those Japanese anime where they get stars in their eyes.
Like a turkey?
Yeah.
Get stars in your eyes, sunshine.
Come on, Jimmie. I want to see Jimmie at Watkins Glen.
Well, they said, Bob Pockris said that Jimmie, according to the rules, was not eligible for the All-Star race. What if Dale
we could vote him in, couldn't we?
What if Dale Jr. and Jimmie Johnson both came out and said, we want to run the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro? Do you think NASCAR won't figure out how to get those 2 guys in a cup car?
Here's what I think NASCAR will do. First, they'll say, we got the rules. And then the network's going to go, we
want this.
No, we're going to triple, quadruple our ratings. No, forget the rules.
That's $1,000 ticket. So I heard somebody say they need to sell the North Wilkesboro tickets for $1,000 each. You put Dale and Jimmie in there, I could see you getting away with it.
I think that's an exaggeration because we tried to get tickets.
Well, we just tried to get on the waiting list.
I think everybody's going to watch that race, even if you're a part-time fan. Because just the elevation change, the up and down from turns 1 and 2 and going up to 3 and 4 and coming back down the hill.
So if you remember the track layout, front straightaway, 1 and 2 had seats in it. Well, 1 and 1.5 had seats in it, and then they just stop.
Then 3 and 4 total.
3 and 4 had no. They had no seats.
Well, I mean 1 and 2.
Yeah, but they had no. The back straightaway, and it's 3 and 4 had no stands. So what if you put up temporary style stands in 3 and 4 and let X amount of people from North Wilkesboro, Wilkes County, come for free?
That would be awesome.
I just think it would be neat, like a nice gesture. Something cool. I mean, you just ripped the Band-Aid off and took it away from them back in the 90s.
Yeah,
you took North Wilkesboro off the schedule to go to Texas Motor Speedway. Now we're taking Texas, the All-Star race, away from Texas and giving it back to North Wilkesboro.
Do you remember when Texas was ever good?
I'm sure. The OG configuration went bad.
I remember when Dale Jr. won there, I was excited, but, I like Dale Jr. So I can't remember the race completely.
Don't know if the race was any good?
Yeah.
Honestly, don't remember a good race.
Wasn't that his first win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his dad come over to him in victory lane, and it was pretty cool. I don't remember. Like I said, I'm sure Texas had some of those Atlanta. You remember Atlanta every year would be a boring race, and then somehow or another, with 2 laps to go, they were running side by side.
Yeah.
Kevin did it with Jeff. Jeff and Bobby did it. I mean, you've seen it numerous times there. So I think that's kind of what Texas was probably like. I don't remember. Then they went and changed the corners and made them different, and that's what screwed everything up.
Now, this last race last week, or 2 days ago, was interesting. It was kind of like Bristol, though. Waiting to see something bad happen.
Kind of reminded me of watching a train wreck. Like, I couldn't stop watching.
Motion.
We had everything but a forest fire. I mean, you had a rain delay, a lightning delay.
Probably could have had a forest fire.
I think at the end of the race, they should have just lit this track on fire.
Blew it up.
Yeah. Well, that's what Larson said. The only thing they could do to fix this track is to blow it up.
The track sucks. I mean,
the track just made the problems of the car even that much worse.
Yeah. And beginning of the year, we thought this was made for 1.5 miles. What happened?
It is made for 1.5 miles, just not
Texas.
Nothing's going to fix Texas, obviously.
Well, they say everything is bigger in Texas. Maybe it's a little bigger than 1.5 miles. Well, they got the weird
fail. They failed bigger.
Just get rid of the weird quad oval.
Yeah.
What it pisses me off every time I see it.
Wow.
It just does. I want to spike something, like get a football and throw it in a ref's face.
Do you think it was...
Get Martin to shoot a bird?
I don't think it was all Texas's fault this weekend, though. I think Texas just sucks, and it has for a while. So that's a problem in itself. But then you had the other problem with NASCAR. I mean, you had Goodyear. You had tires that were popping every 25 laps, 22 laps or so. I mean, I know last week on the Dale Jr. download, Dale was talking about how we need more tire fall off.
Well, we had tire fall off. It seemed like it didn't,
but it just fell real fast.
off. It just popped like a balloon.
Yeah, it fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
There's no downward slope. It's just bloop, end. It'd be like a square earth. You just go sailing to the end and fall over. It doesn't work like that.
It's like watching one of those videos where someone dies. You really don't want to see someone die, but you can't take your eyes off of it.
I don't know that I've ever watched somebody die on video.
Oh, there's a dude with a racing channel just called Fatal Racing or something like that.
Can we actually say that if you watched the Daytona race where Earnhardt died?
You watched someone die.
You watched somebody die. You didn't
body.
Yeah, and you might not have known it at the time, but
you saw him die.
Looking back on it now, there's a couple million people who on TV watch somebody die. On national television, you watch somebody die. I've actually never thought of it in that way. That's kind of morbid.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Even on the videos on YouTube, they don't show the gore, which is good. I
find myself now when I watch a replay of the car hitting the wall, now I'm watching for the driver's body to go forward. Because I think it was Atlanta where Noah Gragson looked like he moved like 2 feet in the car.
Well, here's a thought. You know, everybody says the composite body makes the driver take the hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if they did the front clip and the rear clip with sheet metal and gave it a little space? Give a crumple zone.
I don't know that it's necessarily the composite body that's causing it. I think it's the layout of this car. The car is not designed to absorb impact at a lower speed. So I guess if you don't hit the wall at X amount, let's just do dummy math. We'll call it, if you don't hit the wall going 100 miles an hour, it hurts. If you're going 101, the car is going to absorb the impact and it hurts less. I mean, I'm just saying that's dummy math. Those speeds are obviously not reality speeds, but
airbags.
I think it's
airbags.
I mean, you think this week
quick change like a tire. Yeah, pops out.
I'm like 190 miles an hour, 4 wide at Talladega in the draft.
Side impact bags, poof, front impact bags.
You just see dust flying out windows as the airbags deploy. It's like poof.
Well, they got a helmet, so you know I've been in an accident.
Yeah, their head's going to be fine, but they're going to wreck.
Yeah, well,
at 200 miles an hour, if that airbag
they got
deploys,
a Hans device. So
I'm talking about the other 38 cars on the track.
Push them back into that Hans device. Well, they're all going to hit too. They're just going to have to go into pit row.
What if they make them wear suits
with bubbles, bubble wrap?
Well, no, the airbags are in the suit or in the seat.
So at Talladega or at Daytona, where they're pushing each other, you'll hear.
What if the seat actually encapsulates the driver as they wreck? Just closes in on him, sucks his arms in real quick, closes in, and then his body's protected inside that cocoon as the car wrecks. And when the car's done wrecking, it'll open up and he can get out.
Then why not?
There'll be no saving it.
I mean, let's take it up.
Could you imagine when a guy gets sideways coming off turn 1? He gets sideways and his body's cocooned already. Just shoot.
Well, let's do
There's
that.
There's no saving it because then you just, where'd the driver go?
Let's do that, and every race 1,000 horsepower.
Yes. I think you take the current car we have and give it 1,000 horsepower.
Balls to the wall.
You drive as fast as this car, as fast as you're comfortable going in this car. See what happens. Yeah, I like that. No, in all seriousness, what if we put airbags in the seats? So instead of the airbag deploying out of the steering wheel, it comes out of the headrest.
So do they come out like this is airbag 1 for the first accident, but there's another set of airbags for accident 2?
Yeah. Or hit number 2.
So you pull in pit row and they just hit a button. All right, we're going to airbag 2. Or a computer can figure it out.
Well, if you wreck, you're probably done. Like, it's probably over when you wreck anyway. So you're probably not pulling back out on the track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if they have to repair your car, you're on the damage repair clock, and changing your airbags is probably, maybe it's like a cartridge you change. Just like clip-ins. Clipped into the side and you're done. But then it's not on the dash, which I guess at that point it's still blocking your vision. And when you get hit in the side of the head with an airbag, I'm just thinking of like when you watch Jackass and they go to order a coffee and the fist blows up and knocks the guy over or hits him in the head. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I'm picturing that while Ross Chastain's going through turn 3 at 190 miles an hour and he gets Johnny Knoxville in the side of the head. I mean, I know it's not that, well, I mean, maybe it is in a sense that extreme.
Well, maybe we could have like the windmill.
Maybe we do that anyway and just see what happens.
The windmill for putt-putt.
Yes.
right.
On the start-finish line.
Yeah.
Every lap. Every lap you have to miss the windmill. And that slows down corner entry speed.
Or you could have a go-around, but it's going to take you longer.
A joker lap.
Yeah.
Where you drive outside the track and around the parking lot.
Like a give me. Why not? And speaking of Chastain, all these drivers that said they were going to get him.
Ain't nobody getting him yet.
What's going on here?
Where did he finish at yesterday? Or whatever it is.
He finished. Let's look up old Rossi Ross.
13th. Yeah, so like we've had Denny who said he was going to get him.
Ty.
Ty's been, yeah. Ty
Dillon. Ty Gibbs doesn't have to say it. He's going to get him. I mean, he'll wreck you on pit road.
Ty Dillon, though, it's just like, I'm going to get him. Like, no, you're not. You got to catch him to get him.
Well, even Truex been pissed off at him.
You going to hit him as he's lapping you?
The whole Toyota.
Yeah, Yoda.
Yeah, the Gibbs. Yodas hate him.
All the Gibbs drivers except Busch. Busch is probably friends with them now.
Busch doesn't care.
They probably fish together.
Yeah.
They're probably hanging out after work. Yeah. You want to ride on my plane, Ross? You got any watermelon?
Yeah, you drive a Chevy, Ross.
Brexton likes watermelon. You got any watermelon, Ross? Hook me up. I think Kyle's over it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think he gives a crap. Not at all.
All right, so Jeff Gluck's poll. Was Texas a good race? Poll says 13% voted yes and 87% voted no. On a scale of 1 to 10, Jamie, I've given it a 1.
Well, I was going to give it a 2 just because it was like Bristol, and I was just watching the attrition.
The Bristol?
Yeah, Harvey.
So you're going to go with 2, huh?
Going with a 2 out of 10. Or if it's out of 5, I'm going with a 1. I forgot. Is it 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 5?
2 out of 5. Right. I mean, 1 out of 10. So I gave it a 1. You gave it a 2.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.
I just went with 1 because it wasn't. I don't really know if the racing was good. I guess in a sense, I went into this race expecting it to be horrible. So regardless of what happened, it was going to be horrible. But because of the crap from NASCAR and the parts and missed calls, missed opportunities.
Do you think we're just paying more attention to the car now?
Oh, no doubt.
Because
that's 100%
Harvick going crazy on Twitter?
Well, not just Harvick, but everybody.
I wouldn't say going crazy.
Well, I would say everybody. I mean, if you think about it.
Denny,
Harvick, all the drivers, safety's been a concern the last month or so. It's been talked about from the drivers at least a lot. So I just think because of that, it's brought more attention to it. So we're noticing things. But I think we have more problems out of this car and more issues than we did out of the old car. And granted, we had 40-something years to work on the old car, whatever it was, 30, 20.
So what's the fix? This thing is crap at a 1.5 mile, which we thought it was built for. It's not that exciting on a road course, which we thought it was built for. And it sure is just a bucket of bolts on a short track. What's the fix?
I don't know what the fix is.
It performed great at the first Daytona.
When you think about it,
that little quarter-mile track over there in LA, it was exciting.
So think about it this way. We've had issues with safety. We've had issues with parts. We've had tire and wheel issues, and we've had aero issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
The safety problems started before the season started. When they did the crash test at Talladega, the crash test dummy did not survive. Reportedly. NASCAR would never confirm or deny it. They were so secretive about that stupid crash test dummy that rumors ran rampant. That's how we started the season, was on rumors of unsafe cars.
But they've been silent the whole year, and that's the worst part of it.
And that's what makes you nervous.
Uh-huh.
If they had a fix, they would tell you.
But when you buy a new car, they tell you don't buy the first year of the new model. This is the first year of the new model.
Well, somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, people have Kurt Busch has already gotten hurt.
Well, when we went to LA and did the shootout, and you had Justin Haley get wrecked by Kyle Larson, and Justin Haley gets out and said that's the hardest hit he's ever taken.
On a quarter-mile track?
Yeah, on a quarter-mile low-speed track.
45 miles an hour?
Maybe 70, maybe 80. You got, like you said, Kurt Busch out with a concussion. Denny Hamlin missed an Xfinity race this year due to a hard hit. Noah Gragson has admitted numerous times now on door bumper clear and clear B lane that he's only driving at about 80% because of the hits these cars take and how bad it hurts. He said if it wasn't for prior sponsor engagements that he's already committed to that are coming up this season with the 16 car, he wouldn't run the rest of the season in the Cup car because he doesn't want to get hurt and mess up his Xfinity championship run. You've had Kevin Harvick, Truex, Denny. They've been very vocal about the lack of safety in this car. Chase Elliott got out and said he hopes no one gets hurt on Sunday. Dale Jr. has pointed out that this car has got some issues with it. And then NASCAR's response is nobody's died since Dale Earnhardt. Get over it. These cars are safe. They're hitting at different angles now and higher speeds.
So, do you think they'll fix it in the offseason?
I don't know how you can fix it. I don't think there's enough time in the offseason to fix it. You need to be working on it now. You should be making changes now.
They're sure pretty silent about it.
That's what I'm saying. So it tells me they don't know how to fix it.
But so, do you think if they keep this up, we'll have a rogue league?
I don't know what we're going to have. I think we're going to put the Cup cars in a garage somewhere and let the Cup drivers drive Xfinity cars next season. No, I think this car's not going nowhere. So not only do we have safety issues, we got part problems. We started the season with a part shortage. You had teams only bringing one backup car for 4 different drivers to Daytona or no backup car at all. And now we have parts failing every week. You have NASCAR saying you can't work on these parts, you can't change it, you can't fix it, but here's the parts you got, go for it. And they're going to break. You got Kevin Harvick making fun of NASCAR's crappy parts.
Well, he's got Happy's
Crappies.
Happy's Crappies. I kind of want that shirt, to be honest with you.
I mean, even Denny and Truex. You got veterans of the sport who are speaking out about part failures. Even had Justin Haley on Door Bumper Clear last week say, when Kevin Harvick speaks, he tends to listen because he's a veteran of the sport. He knows what he's talking about. He's been around and been doing it long enough to know what he's talking about.
I see a time where the governing body, which is privately held, NASCAR, is going to get competition. I think that SIRIX, as we call it, SRX.
No, SIRIX will never compete with NASCAR.
I don't think SIRIX will, but I think they put a chink in the armor.
I think NASCAR, they'll change. NASCAR is going to have to take a loss before they change, though.
Are they going to take a loss, though?
I don't know. I think the only way drivers can tweet whatever they want, say whatever they want in the media, but none of that affects NASCAR. You know, I think the only way to get NASCAR's attention is going to be when a driver like Denny Hamlin. Let's say Denny Hamlin Sunday morning on the grid.
What if they
walks away and says, I'm not getting in this car today. I don't feel safe driving this car at Talladega at these speeds. If somebody like Denny and Truex did that at Talladega, that would get NASCAR's attention. But here's the kicker. You got 40 drivers. Well, I don't know. Let's say 65 drivers in the Xfinity and Truck Series who want Denny's job. So if Denny won't do it because he feels unsafe.
Well, they'll do it cheaper than Denny, too.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean,
all these Cup drivers, I saw on Twitter where driver union has been trending in the NASCAR community. Let's create a union for these drivers, but is that going to fix the problem? A union? Because if all the NASCAR drivers get together and say, we're not driving tomorrow, we're on strike, then your Xfinity drivers, your truck drivers, heck, your Cars Tour, late model stock drivers, there's a driver who will replace Denny, Truex, Chase, Elliott. It doesn't matter who you are. There's somebody to replace you. You might not be the superstars, but NASCAR still has the NASCAR name behind it.
But are we going to watch it? And that's where the true money comes from. It's obviously we've seen some empty tracks where there's no fans.
We've watched
a few.
We've watched 4 dumpster fires in a row now. So,
well, the whole playoff has been
since Daytona, since Daytona's Magic Rain appearance.
It's just been
it's been downhill.
Total shit show. I mean, there's no other good way to call it.
So back to this car,
and not a single playoff driver's won a race since the playoffs.
No. But
I mean, Reddick got booted first round. Do you think he ought to be put back in?
No.
Why not? He won.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I think we need a wild card.
He's won 3 races this season. He's out of the playoffs, and Ryan Blaney's won 0 races this season. He's 5th in the points.
Well, he might win a championship without winning. Finally.
I hope he does. I hope Ryan Blaney wins a championship this year. I hope a playoff driver does not win another race this season, and Ryan Blaney wins the championship. I hope he finishes in 2nd place at Phoenix and wins the dang championship. 2nd place behind J.J. Yaley.
But I want someone to...
B.J. McLeod.
I want the champion to have to win a playoff race.
I want him to as well, but just to prove that it can be done.
It's not happening. What's going on? I mean, there's a conspiracy, I think. I think the playoff drivers have decided... Screw you.
Or do you think the playoff drivers are pushing their cars so hard and then the loads being put on the cars at these tracks, the cars can't handle it, and that's why playoff drivers leading the race, blowing tires, hit the wall?
So,
I mean, we have 4 leaders yesterday.
We've had a toe link problem since the beginning. We know this.
Yeah.
Why haven't they improved?
I don't have that answer. I hate that word, toe link. I hate it.
Well, what's the other one? Rock box? Rocker box.
Rock her box.
Rock her box.
Rocker box. I didn't mean to.
I got a really bad joke about that. I heard.
I didn't mean to say it out so slow. Rock her box.
So, I mean, are we fixing these things? They don't tell us. Why wouldn't a NASCAR official come out and go, "We have made these improvements"?
Exactly. But they come out and they look like idiots every time NASCAR talks.
Well,
now,
they don't even see things. We didn't see that.
You know who they sound like? The government.
They sound like a child getting caught.
They sound like politicians.
Yeah.
They're talking in circles. Oh, yeah. Well, when Byron hit Denny, we were focused on the wreck at hand, getting safety vehicles on the track. Like, how many people is in race control? 3?
But we've just passed the accident reduction rule that has nothing to do with cars. We're increasing tickets by 25% for those that can afford it.
And if you can't afford it, the ones who can will pay for it.
Yes.
We'll just charge them your ticket price. I'll pay for everybody's ticket.
Gas prices have gone down.
An inch.
Yeah, an inch.
No, I mean, how many people's in race control do you think? Like, let's seriously, take a real guess.
I mean, I would hope there's a dozen at least.
In the box. in the booth, I'm thinking
in the booth,
12.
I think you need
Air traffic control. I think you need 2 guys in each corner.
You need a camera on every part of the track and a person watching the camera. Just that portion of the track.
Or have them on the roof. Have spotters, have NASCAR spotters all the way around the track.
Yeah.
I'll
volunteer.
I think you have them out in the track. I think you have your parking lot workers, give them radios. So if it starts raining in parking lot A behind turn 4.
Give them a flag. Because they don't seem to use walkie-talkies in NASCAR. Don't they use semaphores?
That's a
you can't see it on the podcast.
The problem is NASCAR has that committee.
Do they use Morse code? And it took them a while to figure out. It's raining. It's what? It's raining. What? Is that why everyone crashed?
They're crashing. And then they didn't see anything else.
They could do the purple flag that identifies as a green flag.
Hey, Noah Gragson won the Xfinity race at Texas, which actually wasn't a bad race.
He's a badass.
He won every single Xfinity race in September.
He's tied the record with some other dude.
Somebody else did that?
Yeah, four in a row.
Oh, yeah. I saw some guy you never heard of.
Yeah, back in like the dark ages.
Bill Smith.
When you wore those football helmets driving the car with no face mask.
Had the chin strap on him, though.
Yeah. And you had like the bench seat all the way across.
He had no seat, but just
three on the tree.
Lap belt. Had a lap belt, and that's it. And an ashtray that worked.
And you wore your dress shoes for church because they were the best driving shoes you had.
That's right.
Yeah, that was that guy.
That's when they light you a cigarette and pass it through the window when they're gassing the car.
That was Billy.
The gas man is lighting the cigarette to hand to you while pumping gas in the car.
Billy Jones.
Yep. I do remember that now. But the Xfinity race wasn't a bad race. That was actually good racing.
I enjoyed the truck race.
Yeah, I bet that was a good one you watched. Huh?
I got a lot of things done.
The Xfinity race was good. Noah Gragson's great. I can't wait to see him in the Cup Series next year. I love his personality.
But what's sad is you got an Xfinity race that was good, and then the top tier of NASCAR Cup racing sucked.
But we already knew it was going to suck.
All right, so is Talladega going to suck?
You know, it's up in the air.
Daytona.
We're going
to be there if the hurricane doesn't wipe it out.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping so far it's looking, well, actually it was looking very unpromising yesterday, but today it's looking a little better. There's a 60% chance of rain all day Sunday. There's a 100% chance of rain on Saturday, so that doubleheader is probably not going to happen.
So you have season tickets.
Correct.
And you're entertaining some customers at different tickets.
Correct.
That doesn't make sense to me.
What do you mean?
Are you going to have to go entertain them? Buy them pretzels and beer?
They have tickets. What more do I need to do? We can't talk during the race.
Are you going to give them pretzels and beer, though?
No. I can't contribute to their alcoholism.
You can't?
Well, then I'm an enabler.
So if they get a DUI going home, is that your fault?
Well, I would have contributed to that DUI.
I don't think I had a beer at the 20-degree race we went to.
Dude, that was insanely cold.
Yeah, I swear I pissed 3 gallons out. It was so dang cold.
I hope it's not that cold.
I'm going to get...
Is it January? It's the last weekend in January, right?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks before the Cup race.
Man.
Or 3 weeks maybe.
I think it's, because they do Cup race, then they go race at the Coliseum, then they're off, and then they race. So, 3 weeks.
I'm gonna bring hand warmers just in case. Maybe we should bring a fire pit and just put it up in the stands.
We could bring space heaters, like those little miniature ones, because they were so cold they weren't checking our bags.
No, they weren't checking.
We could have easily put a space heater in the bottom of all our clothes, walked in, and found a place to plug it in.
Well, they had those fire pits and the fancy seats.
Yeah, but they were turned off.
Turn them on.
I was too cold to take my hands out to turn the knob. It was freezing.
Yeah, I hope it's in the 60s this time. It's just hoodie weather.
Yeah.
When we're there at 3 a.m. watching them drive by.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be all right with 58 at night.
Yeah, 58
59 at night, somewhere around there. I'm good with that. All right, so all the tire problems we had at Texas.
Isn't it weird? It was right rear, but it was front right at Bristol.
I think it just depends on which side the load's put on. I think the Bristol with the high banks, lower speed,
Shorter radius turn.
Puts the load on that front right, where at Talladega, Texas, high speeds, high load on the rear. And it was hot.
Maybe we should have longer pit stops, pull the tire, change the toe link, and put a tire back on.
What, just mandatory 20-minute pit stop every 20 laps?
As cheap as it is, it ought to be easy to put in.
Yeah, but it takes 20 minutes to change the toe link. It's probably plastic. You think?
Well, the way it's breaking, yeah.
It's got to be.
Chinese plastic.
It probably is.
From Huan.
They should use hemp.
Where they invented the flu.
Well, Goodyear came out right away and said it was not their fault. Before the race was over, Goodyear was tweeting, "This was not our fault."
That's like my kids when I go into the living room.
I didn't do it, Dad.
There's my wife's broken vase, and it wasn't me.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, you're the only one in the house. It wasn't me.
You have dirt all over your shoes.
It wasn't me.
Well, Goodyear and NASCAR are like in competition to blame the teams. Oh, we didn't do it. They did it. It's the team's fault. They set the cars up too low of an air pressure.
So maybe we should have multi-tire sponsors and you change different brands.
Yeah, let's go back to the tire wars.
Everybody has to use a set of each brand. Like you pull in, get your Goodyears, and you put on your Hoosiers, throw on some Michelin, throw on some BF Goodrich, throw on some Firestones.
I think go back to the tire wars. Let Michelin come in. Let Hoosier come in. Whoever. Give them an opportunity to make a tire. And let's see. If their tires are better than Goodyear's tires. But then again, you're going to
back to the problem. NASCAR probably collects a fee from
I'm sure.
Goodyear.
Yeah, I'm sure their PR guy probably called Goodyear's PR guy and said, "Okay, this is how we're going to react."
You need to say, "I know there's 10 laps left."
Yeah. On lap 2,
it's not your fault.
Tweet this on lap 2.
It's not my fault.
If you start now, you'll be okay. That's exactly what happens.
I'm surprised they didn't tweet out 3 out of 4 tires were fine.
They did. They've been saying, like, BJ McLeod, he finished that race on a set of tires.
But he was doing 160 when everyone else is doing 190.
He's in 4th gear. Come on. I would say Cody, but they dang near killed Cody Ware this weekend.
I thought Cody was dead.
He got out of that car and
he didn't really get out. Didn't they pull him and he just
stumbled
fell
over
to the ground?
Then they drug him over the wall. It looked like they flung him over the wall to get him off pit road. I mean,
poor Cody.
Cody took a hard hit.
He did. That car was effed up, dude.
He's seeing sideways for sure this morning.
Totally effed up.
Well, even Tyler Reddick's crew chief, though, said he ran that car extremely conservative. So,
well, he won.
Well, he must have done something right.
And his owner hates his guts. So,
I think the problem is, though, like with Texas, is Texas went in and changed that track trying to make it better because it was becoming a long, drawn-out race, and then stage racing hit.
So, do we get another Atlanta? Is that where we're headed?
The rumor is that Texas is going to be Atlanta 2.0.
So, too much of a good thing isn't a good thing.
I think we need to tear it down 100%. I know it's expensive. I get that. But if you could sell out 100,000 seats to an event twice a year, and with TV money, if you're selling out a racetrack, the stands, people are going to watch on TV too, right?
So I got an idea. And it's not a full teardown.
Yeah.
We tear up turns 3 and 4. Just past pit row, we egg it, just like Darlington. Make it like a 1 miler. 1.25. Let's go weird. Let's go 1.10 miles.
I thought you were going to do your figure 8 idea.
Well, I like the figure 8 with a bridge, a tunnel, and all that fun stuff.
So the question was, if you could design any racetrack, what would it be? And we'll have to tweet a picture of Jamie's drawing if he can find it. But his idea was a figure 8 racetrack with a bridge. With a bridge, not like where you're crossing in demolition derby style, but legit. That kind of reminds me of those old slot car racing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, one turn.
That's where I stole the.
One turn's bigger than the other.
Yeah, that's where I stole it from.
My idea is take Martinsville with Bristol banking. Actually, more than Bristol. I'm thinking
So Richmond with Bristol banking. That's a mile.
Well, Martinsville's 3/4. But I could do a mile. But no, I want Martinsville skinny, paperclip.
Yeah.
So you got paperclip, and it's essentially 2 turns. You have turn 1 and turn 2 on the other side.
So I think Atlanta was better when it was a 1.5 mile paperclip.
What if you do 40-degree banking?
Ooh, yeah.
Or 38.
You're not going to have any passing with that kind of banking, are you? You're only going to be able to pass in the front stretch and back stretch.
Okay, so maybe not 40. 38.
Aren't your eyes going to close on you just going that fast in the corner? Just
You're going to be able
a roller coaster doing a loop.
You're going to be able to fly.
Maybe we should put a loop like the Hot Wheel loop.
But then you'll have to slow down so much to go through the turns. That's where you're going to have tire fall off, tire lock up. Brakes are going to break. Even these big, huge brakes they have on these cars now won't be able to withstand that. Long straightaways and short, skinny corners.
Well, you want to make it interesting?
Matter of fact, you don't have an infield. You just have a pit road. You have one sharp turn at each side of the track.
What about instead of their stupid quad they got at Texas, and I'm pointing, we got Texas on a screen here, they put a bus stop.
A bus stop?
Yeah.
Oh, like at the road courses?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
when they do
chicane.
yeah, just right out of turn 4. They got to hit those brakes.
Hit a chicane.
Whoa!
But it kind of be like the Roval.
Yeah.
That
Just
chicane
one
right at the end of the Roval.
Yeah, just one little chicane. Just to stop them.
I think Texas, this is what we should do at Texas. Instead of covering Bristol in dirt, what if we did a 1.5 mile dirt track?
I'm okay with that.
And only dirt in the corners.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Quad in the, what is that, quad oval that we're calling
Do
it?
you put it in the quad too?
Maybe just the corners of the quad. Like the armpits of the quad.
So you have grip, lose grip, have grip.
Yes. And then
And then the same thing on the corner.
and then the back straightaway's wet.
So why not in between turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4?
That's the chicane.
There's no dirt.
No track.
Yeah, but no track. That'd be awesome.
Just run through the grass.
Well, they already do that on that what Red Bull Racing. They got the figure 8 where you jump.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, why not?
Have a lake. Go through the water.
Yeah.
Or make it gravel.
I mean,
The back straightaway is gravel. All the way down it.
we need a circus because we got a wreck circus. Right
How do you have seats on the back straightaway with gravel? Because that might hurt.
Plexiglass
Well,
instead
that's
of a catch fence.
okay.
You can have the catch fence behind the plexiglass in case the car leaves the track.
Maybe gravel's not a good idea.
Probably not.
But it would be funny.
Did you notice
Like
we did?
dirt road gravel.
I didn't see anyone in the entire race have a tire rolling off in pit row.
Did we not?
I don't think we did.
Well, we had too many tires blowing off. We couldn't have them
Yeah.
rolling off.
Well, they were running out of tires. They were a little more careful with their scuffed tires.
Don't mess this up.
I know. Save those for later.
So what's the best track racing, the best racing we get right now? Honestly, the best short track race of the year, and this might not be a popular opinion, but I think it was the Coliseum.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think any short track has been any, they've gotten, so it either needs to be 1.5 mile, not Texas style, or quarter mile.
And my favorite super speedway was Atlanta.
Is Texas style like family style?
I mean, it depends what part of the country you're from. Family style could be bad if you're from some mountainous regions
Yeah.
with
West Virginia.
everyone related to you.
And it's family style.
I
couldn't do family style eating because too many people touch
eating?
my food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Food. Talking about other things.
Talking about food.
We have no listeners in West Virginia. Remember, we looked at the map. We're safe there.
We know people. Scott, our listener, our buddy Scott, he's from West Virginia, though.
Is he? I've visited West Virginia.
He's Southwest Virginia, though.
I have friends that moved to West Virginia
I think
from D.C.
He lives over. He was from like the D.C. area because he knew a lot of the same places that you knew. Like that club you used to hang out at.
930.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you go there before 930?
There was it had another name before 930.
Did it really?
I forget what it was. Yeah.
Straight Edge Club.
I was Bent Edge.
Bent Edge.
Google it because I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I already did.
Okay.
All right.
DC hardcore is what we called it.
Hardcore punk.
Yep.
So, like, when I think of punk rock, the first band who comes to mind would be
Dag Nasty.
I was going to say Ramones.
Oh, they were kind of light. They were poppish. They were good. I loved the Ramones.
Well, see, for me,
it's many times.
It's a tie between the Ramones and the Sex Pistols. Like, my dad used to let me listen to the Sex Pistols when I was a kid. Like, I'd listen to it with him. He was a big Sex Pistols fan, so... And he probably got me into the Ramones at some point as well. But my dad listened more like rock, Southern rock, like Skinner.
I was more into Dag Nasty, Minor Threat, Fugazi, and some of the people from Minor Threat went to Fugazi. But that was the whole DC hardcore scene. So I don't think they made it. Fugazi, I think, had a song that made it outside of DC.
Goldfinger.
I like Goldfinger.
Was that a DC band?
I don't think so. There were some good New Jersey bands like Bouncing Souls.
I'd like to go see, or like to have seen during their prime, would have been the Dolls, New York Dolls.
Yeah.
Wasn't that was considered punk, right?
That was, or glam.
Well, glam punk.
I mean, would you call David Bowie punk?
In a sense, yeah.
I mean,
he was punk rock.
So he's kind of like the inventor, isn't he?
A punk?
Yeah. I mean, people took it further. What about Lou Reed?
I think punk is a mindset, in my opinion.
Well, punk is
going against the grain.
But it's also
new music's created from punk.
This is horrible. This is where politics has gotten me. Because
am I about to have to edit something?
No, you're not going to have to edit, but there were, and I don't want to say, someone says, I have a black friend, I have an Indian friend. And sometimes when I hear someone say that, I'm like, what?
Why are you pointing it out?
Are you special? But back when I was living it, there was no, you were punk. There was no race. There's punk. Well, there was Ben Edge. There was straight edge.
Metal was the same way.
Yeah, metal was.
I was a metal kid.
Race wasn't an issue within the music.
Well, even the bands I hung out with in high school.
Even the start of rap.
You come and watch us play, or if you liked our music, then we didn't really care who you were.
I mean, look at Run DMC with Aerosmith.
Yeah.
And, I think I said last week I did not like Aerosmith.
Yeah,
but
you did.
I did like them with Run DMC.
That one song.
I didn't like it when Aerosmith sang.
You didn't like Dream On or, man.
Oh, Dream On's okay. And I just said I have never bought an Aerosmith anything.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. I can't.
I don't like Queen that much.
I'm not a huge Queen fan, but the movie, when I watched the movie, it's actually fairly decent. It's not bad. And it actually made me go back and listen to Queen. As I've gotten older, I've went back and listened to stuff and looked at it with a different lens, and I appreciate it more.
Do you think under the current political landscape where the two parties have gotten so extreme, one or the other, that Live Aid could happen like it happened in the 80s? I mean, every genre of music got together, and as fans, all the fans got together, regardless of race, to support it because, look.
Yeah, I think it could happen, but it's still going to be divided.
But it kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. The current political situation we're in. And I'm not ragging. I'm saying both parties. Actually, I'm ragging on both, to be honest.
Well, man, I just think this whole country's done went wackadoodle.
Yeah, we have.
I mean,
look, what we need now is everybody smoke a toke and listen to the Grateful Dead and just believe in peace, dude.
Everybody needs to just chill out.
Yeah, just let's all get along, dude.
There's a whole lot of Jesus being needed.
Yeah, basically.
Because people have lost it.
But, I'm going to go on a Jesus tangent, and don't anybody get mad at me, but think about Jesus. I want you to just think completely about Jesus. The dude hung out with his 12 best buds, right? They didn't have jobs. They were like Appalachian Trail camping, dude, saving people. And they went fishing. And come on now, first miracle. Jesus turned water to wine, dude. He's hanging out with his buds. Even his mom was cool with it. She was with him. Think about it. If you really think about it, Jesus was a pretty way cool dude, man.
You're right, man. I like your...
But look, they go to Sea of Galilee, and he goes, hey, buds, let's go fishing, dude.
And then, what version of the Bible is that from? Like,
that's my version.
Hippie version?
Quaker version.
Quaker hippie, 70s version?
Society of Friends version. And people are like, dude.
So you're a 1970s style Jesus. Long brown hair.
And, like Peter says, oh, I dropped my pole, dude. It's floating over there. And Jesus said, don't worry, I get it. We don't have to paddle. He like walked on out there. They're like, dude, Jesus can walk on water, man. I mean, come on. And that's all in the Bible. Read it. I'm not making any of this up. Or the little boy shows up with what? Some little fishies and some bread. And Jesus is like, oh, cool, dude. We can feed a multitude, man. Which I have not figured out what a multitude is. Was it 1,000?
That's a lot.
10,000?
Is it more or less than an inch?
Well, I think it's more than an inch.
Yeah, definitely more than an inch.
I mean, they had leftovers. This kid brought like his bag lunch. I mean, it's that simple.
Handed him one PBJ, turned it into
Jesus
hundreds.
just sit there, okay, fish, bread. And then they like load it up and they're like, everybody's full. And they're like, man, how did this happen? How did we get all this fish and bread? I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Do you think modern day Native American Indians sit around a teepee and vape? Instead of passing the peace pipe, now they pass around the vape?
I mean, I don't... that is one... As a race, I'm not sure if I know anyone that's full-blooded Indian. American Indian.
I mean, I watched Yellowstone.
Does that qualify?
I've been on an Indian reservation recently. But honestly, it was a white dude who was pumping the gas there.
Well,
actually, I didn't see any Indians working at the Indian reservation. It was kind of ironic.
And talk about a group of people that have been screwed.
I know.
I mean, we made treaties with them that said, hey, there's oil on that land. Get off of it.
Yeah, we're going to give you Kansas.
Yeah, Oklahoma's all yours, dude.
Have you ever been to Iowa?
And what did you have to pray for as an Indian? That they don't find anything of value on the land they gave you?
Exactly.
I mean,
but now they have the casinos.
That's true. Do they benefit from it, though? Does it trickle down to the actual...
That casino they have over in Alabama, I've never been in it, but every time I've been by it, there's never anybody there.
I've driven past it, yeah.
There's never... It's got like a 18-story parking deck, and it's empty. The parking lot out front, empty. The tram's just sitting there.
We're not big drinkers, gamblers, or anything like that ourselves. Don't you think it's probably packed when we're sitting at home with our families watching a show on television?
Well, I mean, I know people who go when I worked over there, and they said it was always empty. There's always more employees there than people.
So were they just, is there just, I mean, you're selling nothing for money.
It's in Wetumpka, Alabama.
But you're selling, what are you selling? The opportunity to win more money?
Yeah,
you're not even promised.
But there's no money there. So they have nothing to bring in.
Well, they just give you credit?
No, that's what I mean. That it's in an area that's very poor. Like,
maybe we need
you want to talk about getting gypped as an Indian. They give you a casino in one of the poorest states in the country and say, good luck.
Here's something I've always thought about.
And nobody comes to your casino. You're in a state that doesn't allow the lottery, and you can't attract people. People are more willing to drive over the state line to Georgia to buy lottery tickets than they are to go to an Indian casino in Alabama.
But that one in Connecticut's slammed up packed. I drove past it taking my kid to college.
Yeah. Ones out west are always packed.
They're got Las Vegas style. I mean, they got, popular singers there for a week or month or whatever. But
is that an Indian casino outside of Delaware? Dover?
I don't know.
That racetrack?
There's a casino outside of D.C. and Maryland now.
Kansas has one. Don't Kansas have a casino outside their racetrack?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that an Indian casino?
It might be. You ever wondered why? And I've never, it's not in my wheelhouse for vocabulary, but you can watch these 50s shows on MeTV and stuff. And I've been told that it's derogatory. Not by an Indian, because like I said, I'm not sure I've ever actually met an Indian.
Yeah.
American Indian. But Indian giver is derogatory.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's probably meant in a negative way, right? Doesn't an Indian giver mean you give something and then you take it back?
But here's something that's always confused me. Is it derogatory towards an Indian, or is it really derogatory to us? Because we kept giving and taking.
I don't know. Is it derogatory at all? That's the problem. We've become so flippin' politically correct. It's like we're overcomplicating things. Like,
but think about it.
We got rid of the Washington Redskins for now. What are they? The Washington Combatants?
Commodores.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what
Commanders.
I think it's Commodores. No, maybe it's Commanders. Whatever. Why did we do that? It's
Which
stupid.
is such a generic term.
They should have left it as just Washington.
Why don't they call them the IRS agents?
Yeah, why not the Washington IRS agents? That's got a ring to it.
The bureaucrats. They could just call them the Bureau.
Yeah, or the FBI.
Isn't
that a private army?
Yeah, for whoever's president. Anyway.
All right, Denny Hamlin, William Byron.
Back to Denny Hamlin.
William Byron gets into Denny Hamlin under caution, spinning Denny Hamlin out. NASCAR comes out, said if they would have saw it, they would have done something about it, but they missed it because there's so much going on during a caution. This happened on the front straightaway. This happened directly in front of the idiots in the booth.
It happened multiple times. There was bumping and bumping and bumping.
Okay, you're going to do that to William Byron like Dale Jr. said, all William has to do is say he didn't mean to do it. And when William got out of the car, he said, I didn't mean to spin him. So basically, he admitted to hitting him under caution. Well, so that's like a Bubba Wallace type of deal where you admit something you shouldn't admit. So I don't know if he's been fined or not yet, but William Byron should be fined today.
What about the Ty fight?
Oh, yeah. Then you had Ty Dillon on pit road just turned. So I finally figured out. I watched more video to figure out what happened.
With a pit crew sitting there 10 feet away from the bump and grind.
Yeah, he goes to the left, or Ty Dillon comes out of his pit road or out of his pit box and almost runs Gibbs into the grass. Gibbs waits, but he waits. That's the kicker is like he waited like 10 seconds and then like, oh, let's go left, and then turns directly left into Ty.
I think anything like that happening on pit road, you should be fined.
Both of them.
Yeah.
William Byron too.
Yeah.
I don't think it should ever happen. I think the William Byron thing, I think you should have sent William to the back and gave Denny his spot back. I do think Denny did nothing wrong. Denny was doing everything.
Even during the race, all he did was he didn't even hit him. Did he? I mean, I've seen it, even the replay. He just moved him up. That's it.
Pretty much.
So moving up someone.
Denny never touched him.
Now a crime.
That's like we said when we were watching the recap. You know, Denny gets mad every time anybody gets near him. He was mad at Larson because Larson run him tight. I mean, these guys complain about racing. It's no holds bar. Everybody for themselves. Everybody hates everybody. Let's go out and wreck everybody and do what we want to do.
Well, here's the kicker.
It's every man for himself. It's all.
If someone would give you $5 million a year and me $5 million a year?
I'll wreck you.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll wreck you every week.
It might not be as entertaining as these professional drivers. Actually, it might be more entertaining.
I'll wreck you on pit road before the race starts if that's what it takes.
I mean, I'll do it for $100,000 a race.
Apparently, Cody Ware said on NASCAR that he's dealing with some stretched ligaments and just a lot of bruising and swelling in his foot and ankle. So that pretty much tells me that he said he expects to be cleared to race at Talladega this weekend. So that tells me he probably has no head injuries. That's pretty good.
If I was him, I would be injured for Talladega.
I would too.
I mean, that's just a wreck fest.
Well, I don't think that I would want to get in a car at Talladega after taking a hit like I just took. But it's Cody Ware we're talking about. I mean,
so is Kurt coming back for Talladega?
He's probably taking more. Kurt, I don't think we see Kurt this season.
Do you think we see Kurt next season?
I don't know, man.
Do you think a third team
I don't think
for RCRs just deploy?
Yes. Maybe. Yes, probably.
Or is he going to give them is there a charter out there?
Unless he rents the 15 charter. I don't think there is. But the 15's tied to Stuart Haas.
Or does he just field a team and say, hey, Tyler, I own you for a year. You got to race in.
Or sit out.
There's usually 36 cars. Isn't he getting in anyway?
I think you're better off just being done with him. Cutting him loose. Let him go.
Oh, I think Richard Childress is toying with him.
I do too. I think Denny would be more likely to throw him in a third car.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or does Richard Childress have his winery sponsor him?
Maybe.
Is that what you call where you make wine? A winery?
A wine distillery? Like a distillery?
I think there's a vineyard. That's what they call it, isn't it? Or is that just grapes?
Yeah, that's where you grow the stuff. At the grapes, not the stuff.
I don't think any one of us is very cultured.
I don't even like wine.
I don't either.
I don't even. So, what we wouldn't even be going to a vineyard or a winery.
I mean, I see on shows on TV.
Do we sound like we're winery drinkers? I mean, wine drinkers.
Well, I don't even know what it's called. The place where they make wine.
Wine connoisseurs. We're not connoisseurs of wine.
So, back to what we were saying before.
What's that?
Yeah, Jesus being way cool, dude.
Yeah.
He wasn't a vineyard when he turned water to wine. And they all said at the wedding party, dude,
it's the best.
This is the best, man. We're supposed to do the good stuff before so we don't taste the bad stuff later.
You say the good for last.
Dude, this is backwards, man. But, dude, props on your wine, dude.
Your 70s Jesus probably looks like Spicoli. That's the version of him you're giving out.
But, dude, think about it, dude.
I don't think he was like...
He's hanging with his posse, man.
But he wasn't surfer Jesus.
They don't even have jobs. Well, he can walk on water. How do you know he wasn't skiing? I mean, think about it. The Bible doesn't tell us what they did on a day-by-day basis. I mean, we skip weeks.
You probably skipped years.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude. This is just me filling in the blanks. But he also hung out with prostitutes, dude. She's a hot hooker over there. Hey, Mary Ann, why don't you come hang with us? We're gonna go to the Dead Sea. Screw the Red Sea. We're going to the Dead Sea. We're just gonna drink my wine and float around. There's so much salt there you can float, baby.
All right. Well, instead of going to the Red Sea, let's go to Talladega.
Talladega. Oh, you know what? I got some stuff on Talladega.
And if we didn't go to we are going to Talladega. What am I saying? If
the hurricane, it might wash the track away.
If we were going to get a hotel in Talladega, where would we not want to stay?
Well, first of all,
you don't want to stay in Anniston.
I once went through Columbus to a race at Talladega and had to drive through the Talladega National Forest.
Is that the way it's going to take us Sunday?
No, I think we're going to go up to, we're just going to head to downtown Atlanta and take 20 over. Don't you think? But I went through the Talladega National Forest to get to the race, and I told someone at the race who was from Alabama, and they asked me if I saw any ghost.
And?
I did not. But I Googled it for this show. And this is on Alabama State Parks website. Talladega County. There is a place at Talladega National Forest, and it's a picture, so it says shown above, where a road was paved over a cemetery.
Yeah, I believe that.
And now at night, people see their spirits walking across the road.
You know, there's a road in Alabama near the Talladega National Forest area. I can't remember the name of the little town it's
Is that
in.
Ghost Road?
Well, when you look at the road, it looks like it's going downhill.
Oh yeah, but
it's actually uphill. So your car rolls uphill, not downhill. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I've done it. Legit. Went and put my car in neutral to see which way I rolled. I found it on Google and went and found the road. Because I worked in that state for years, so.
Did you see?
I didn't see no ghost.
What about a big furry dude that looks like an ape?
Bigfoot?
That's his name.
You know, in the South.
It's Sasquatch.
No, the Sasquatch is another name for Bigfoot. In the South, it's called the skunk ape.
Oh, yeah.
I went down this rabbit hole all weekend.
Did you see the video of him walking across a swamp, the skunk ape?
Yeah, in the South, it's called the skunk ape. Bigfoot, Sasquatch is what it's known as, Northwest. Southeast United States, skunk ape. Asia, it's called the Yeti. And in Australia, it's called the Yowie.
I think it's real.
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know, though. Like, nobody's ever got a good picture of this thing. It's not like Harry and the Hendersons. Remember that show?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But, when I was a kid, we used to go hiking on the Appalachian Trail.
And you saw?
3-4 nights.
Would that be a skunk ape in the Appalachian
Trail? I never saw them, but once we were...
Wouldn't it just
we were on the side of a mountain, but not the top. The trail was, and this is in the Great Smoky Mountains. And the top of the mountain was just like 40 feet ahead above us. I mean, you could look up and you could see there was sky between the trees, very top, and rocks were being thrown at us.
It might have been a squirrel.
Throwing rocks?
Maybe. How big were the rocks?
Well, my uncle and my dad said that it was Bigfoot.
Or it could have been Daryl.
Well, I was very hyper as a child.
Daryl could have been like, shut that kid up before I hit him with a rock.
Well, there were a few times I think my dad hit me with a rock. Just slow me down.
So it might have been your dad throwing rocks at you?
I was like hyper.
Wasn't me, Jamie. It must have been Bigfoot. Every time you turn around, him and your uncle are pelting you with rocks. That dang Bigfoot again.
And my mom kept blaming it on sugar, but we didn't have any candy in the house. How could it be sugar?
So on Wikipedia, they describe Bigfoot as black or brown fur, 6 to 9 feet tall, ape-like body and head with a human-like face, long arms, yellow or red eyes, smells like a skunk that has rolled around in dead bodies, and the feet print are claimed to be around 24 inches long. Spanish explorers in the 16th century landing in California are the first ones to write about the Dark Watchers, the animal-like creatures that stalk their camps at night.
I think they're friends with the moon-eyed people. I think they know each other. Think about it, man.
All these,
there's too many sightings, just like UFOs.
In 1721, a preacher in Mississippi wrote down in his journal of creatures and tall, hairy creatures in the forest that were known to steal their livestock at night. But here's the thing. Most cultures have stories of giant apes or giants. And they're either ape-like or human-like giants. You either have the more, human-like ape that you see in Harry and the Hendersons, or you have the ape-like from Planet of the Apes that looks like it's going to kill you. Or you have giant people. So it's not like it's either a giant with no fur or a giant with fur. So these stories are universal across the country. The world.
But think of this, man. We turned into Blue Ridge National Forest, Pisgah National Forest, whatever you want to call it.
They had
There used to be little towns up in those mountains, but when we made it a national forest, we just said, go away. What if they scattered out in the woods?
And became big feet people?
Yes.
So in Washington State, it is on record. It is illegal. It is a law. You cannot kill a Bigfoot.
I agree with that. It's God's creature.
In Oklahoma, there is a Bigfoot hunting season that lasts for 3 days. And if you capture a live and unharmed Bigfoot, they're offering a $3 million award from the state.
When is this? We need to go.
It's just 3 days.
But when? We could take 3 days off work.
I wonder if it costs $3 to buy the license.
And this is in Oklahoma?
Yeah. I don't know nothing about Oklahoma.
Is Oklahoma a lot like Dallas, flat and stupid looking?
I don't know, probably. But I don't know like the good hunting holes in Oklahoma for the big feet.
How do you it ought to be able to track the guys wearing a size 28.
What do you think a Bigfoot call, like a call, like a deer call, you have a Bigfoot call?
I think you just beat your chest and go, oh!
That's like an ape.
Well, he's an ape? Human ape?
Yeah, so you think he beats and just growls?
You ever watch that show on like Nat Geo, the Bigfoot hunters?
No.
They filmed up in North Georgia.
Did they find one? There's a Bigfoot museum in North Georgia.
There's a police car with a dash-mounted camera that has him walking in front of the patrol car.
You think that's real?
Yes.
That could be Shaquille O'Neal.
I prefer to believe.
In a fuzzy suit or in a pair of footy pajamas walking across the road.
Well, I've never seen Jesus Christ either, and I believe in him. Why can't I believe there's a Bigfoot or UFOs?
You think the UFO and Bigfoot go together?
They might know each other.
Hey, Biggie.
Because think about this.
Do you think Bigfoots have names?
Yes.
Like Charles?
Could be.
Hank?
Why not?
Terry?
Mm-hmm. It might sound different in their language, but it's the same thing. Uh-huh.
How do you say Hank and Bigfoot? Hank.
I'm just thinking out loud here, but I think
that's the problem.
Well, the problem is
you're thinking out loud.
Well,
that's when everything goes wrong for you and me both, when we think out loud. Well, just ask our wives.
Well, regardless what you believe in, whether it's creation or the Big Bang.
The Big Bang.
Or
I don't believe in that.
A random explosion happening in space and we're here, boom.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Well, it takes just as much faith.
No doubt.
Maybe more.
Well, it's like
But why would you believe it only had, even if you're evolutionary? Does that mean you're militant for evolution? An evolutionary?
We got some words today.
Okay. Let's say you're evolutionary. Your Big Bang only created Earth? No, it could have created other Earths.
Well, the Big Bang.
They might call it worth.
God had to create the Big Bang for the Big Bang to happen.
Well, I have a theory.
Somebody started the bang.
I have a theory on that too.
Somebody lit the wick.
It was God's design to kaboom.
Okay, so God still did the bang.
But we can tell with a telescope there's other universes out there.
Yeah, you don't think some broke off?
So why do you think I think I'm the only one? I'm not. I've seen a UFO. And you can't tell me it was a helicopter with strange lights.
Hey, I sent you that video we had from New York that we thought was Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know that Elon come out and said it was Starlink or whatever, but I'm telling you, there was a moment there where, like, we had been staring at, like, this flashing light that was over the horizon, out over the lake, where the lake would have been at. We'd been staring at that and turned around and happened to see the Starlink satellites go by. That looks like aliens and UFOs following each other through the sky. It just appears and then disappears. And I'm in upstate New York, and I mean, I figure if an alien was going to abduct somebody, they'd do it up there. And, you know, you got less friends, maybe. Fewer citizens in each town.
And I live in the middle of Georgia cattle country.
You've been missing some cows.
There's some weird deaths going on with the cattle. Occasionally. Anyway, let's get back to Talladega, where you do not want to stay.
Where are we going first, Sunshine?
First, we're going to go, since this is our second trip, I went a little further out. We're going to go to Holiday Host in Gadsden.
Gadsden.
Did I say it right?
Gadsden, Alabama. You said it correctly, sir.
Okay. That's that little town just north.
Up yonder.
Just past Talladega, isn't it? North of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's north. It's
So-
like 2 hours north, but it's north.
Really?
It's probably an hour and a half north. You get off in Anniston where the PCBs are high.
Oh, that's where I was thinking. Anniston's along the interstate, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Anniston's the PCB capital of Alabama.
PCB?
PCB, yeah.
Isn't that chemicals made from
Something with plastic.
transmission of electricity?
Well, there was a plant there that made PCBs back in the 70s, from like the 20s to the 70s, and contaminated, and still to this day, it's got a very high count of PCBs
Is
in
that
the
why
water.
those people are like pasty white?
You don't drink the water in Anniston. They say, I had a customer over there one time who swore they had the best oysters in Anniston, but there's no
Why would
ocean
you
nearby.
eat
So,
that? Just grows in their bathtub.
well, with the PCBs, yeah.
It might grow at the Holiday Host Gadsden,
All
right?
right.
So Marie Cole gave it a 1 out of 5 on Google. She
Yes.
says, it's nasty.
She started right off.
How many exclamation points did she put in there? 3? Was that a nasty 3 exclamation point, or did I do a 4?
I think that was a 3.
Okay. All right.
I'm good
So
with
I
that.
won't repeat it.
Nah.
This is a weekly, daily, or monthly room.
Which one is she doing, though?
She's not really forthcoming.
Hmm.
Should be removed from the site. We want travelers to be safe. This place is the local pull-through drug apartments, and where a lot of drug users live.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if they're drug apartments, wouldn't drug users live there? It's just convenient. You
But
know
isn't
what I
it
mean?
bad business using your own drugs if you make a living selling drugs?
Well, maybe the owner of the apartment sells the drugs and he rents the rooms out to his users. He keeps them close at hand. You don't have to worry about them shopping around if they live with you.
If I was a drug dealer, I wouldn't do it. The drugs, I wouldn't take them.
Well, I always say don't get high on your own supply.
And I would invest the money, so I would, in some good dividend stock, so I could have some income while I'm in jail.
You would be the one drug dealer to be, I'm investing my drug money right back into the market.
I'm in utilities. So they say, and this is a new sentence, started with and. Now, in 4th grade, weren't we told not to start a sentence with and? I don't remember.
I'm dyslexic.
They capitalized a and.
I wouldn't have kept it.
So-
At least she used punctuation. She might have not used it correctly, but it's better than the ones who go all caps, no punctuation.
But listen to this. She put, and were a lot of drug users live.
Well, it could be live.
Not if you're on drugs.
I'm just going to say.
They should tear it down for everyone's safety. Drug and prostitute hotel. Have to give 1 star. Tried not to, but it won't post. So she's on drugs and tried to post the 0 stars over and over again.
So if you close this, though, this is going to displace the prostitutes.
And they're
the
going to
drug
go to
users.
other areas.
And they're going to go to other areas.
I
yeah.
think this is a good idea.
So, no. Well, first, is Maria Cole, does she live in Gaston? I doubt it because she stayed in the hotel, but
Well, she says
she's wanting to punish the citizens of Gadsden by putting these drug users out on the street.
see, if I was a police officer, I would make that the safe zone.
Yeah.
And I would tell all the drug dealers and users,
Just arrest them.
you cannot leave this property.
I would just put them all in jail.
Yeah.
Be done with it.
So, that was a short one. So Sonja Davenport, she also gives it a 1 out of 5. She says it's terrible, rude owners, nasty motel. Shady, low-life people in mostly every occupied room. Crime right outside. Doors that don't lock. Rooms that were barely cleaned, if cleaned at all. Drug paraphernalia everywhere open upon check-in.
I thought it said chicken.
It could be chicken, too. So she kind of agrees with Marie.
Yeah. Nasty. Terribly nasty and rude.
And then I copied it
So
again.
does this mean terribly rude owners, nasty motel? Okay. I'm with you.
So then I
Is that a
copied
run-on sentence?
I copied and pasted again. Should I read it again?
No.
Okay.
But it looks different. But no.
So then we have,
Yeah.
I know where Homewood's at.
I do too. He's playing soccer.
Econo Lodge Homewood by
Wyndham.
Wyndham.
I'm glad to have Wyndham back.
Now, this is very nasty. This is our first. I'm going to read it before I discuss it. There was a bloody T-shirt between the mattress and the wall. Huh. It's our first bloody T-shirt.
Yeah.
They don't go into detail to tell us whether there were like knife slits in it.
I know there should have been more info on the bloody T-shirt here. Can we contact Tara B?
I wonder if we clicked on her name. It's blue, like you can, like it's a link.
Contact her and we'll
ask her.
If she'll respond, we can report back next week and let you know more about the T-shirt.
And then she says this like she's surprised. Blood-stained mattress. Yeah, well,
you had a bloody T-shirt between the mattress and the wall. There's going to be blood on it. I mean, duh. Come on, lady.
Smelled of cigarette smoke.
Okay. I think you have bloody stuff in your room. I think cigarette smoke's the least of your... I would probably light up a cigarette at that point. And I don't smoke, but I would need one after I found bloody people in my room.
You know, I was at a gas station today and saw what cigarettes cost.
That's probably what killed.
Cheap.
That's probably what killed the guy.
I couldn't smoke. I'm too cheap.
Well, that's probably what he stabbed himself and threw his T-shirt behind the...
$6.85 for Marlboros. Because if I smoked, I would smoke Marlboro because they're cool.
That's what they told you back in the 60s.
Yeah, I wasn't around in the 60s.
You'll be cool, Jamie.
But
have a smoke.
Yeah,
I'm Camel Joe.
Oh, I think I'd do Camels in.
I'm Camel Joe, and I drive a race car. You know you want to smoke Camels.
I like that Camel better as a logo. My dad smoked Camel.
Dude, I loved the Camel when I was a kid. I'm like, heck yeah, this Camel. He's got a drag car, an Indy car, a NASCAR. I mean, this dude's got it all.
Yeah, I think I would.
Girls in bikinis. Heck yeah, give me some Camel Joe.
Next time I'm at the gas station buying gum for my breath for work, I'm going to look at some Camel Joes. I like Camels.
This is how they tricked people into smoking back in the day.
Do you think my dad smoked filterless ones? Do you think they still make those?
Oh, that's
Do you think they still make them?
Yeah, I'm sure. They probably make filtered, non-filtered 1000s.
If I live to be 75,
you're going to start smoking?
I'm going to start smoking. Because what am I taking away from my life at 75?
I'd wait till you're 80.
Really?
You can be president at 75, so I'd wait till you're 80.
Obviously, you can be president at 80, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Is he 80 yet?
I don't know. But
78.
I read this article from this young, I'm assuming he's a Democrat. Not that there's anything wrong with that, unless you're a communist. But he said after serving in Congress, Nancy Pelosi being 80, and he named like 5 or 6 other Congress people in their 80s, he was okay with an 82-year-old person running for president.
You know what I'm not okay with? We need term limits and we need age limits. You know, you got these politicians who are money hungry. I mean, not money hungry, power hungry.
Well, they're something hungry because they don't represent us anymore.
That's what I mean. They're power hungry, but they need this to last a whole career. If they fix everything year 1, you're not going to need them year 2. So they have to drag it out over 80 years. We're going to fix this, but it's going to take 83 years. So keep voting for me.
So I got a question for you. In 2 years, I think I'm going to run for Senate or Congress.
Again?
As an independent.
Okay.
I'm not going to have any ads. I don't need them. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. That should win.
Yeah, I mean, it'll get some votes, but it ain't going to win.
How do you know? They all suck right now.
Because your vote don't count.
They all suck.
You think your vote counts?
My congressman doesn't even know where my city is.
The elections...
He just sits there and twiddles his thumbs.
The elections decided way before we ever hit the booth.
Well, we know that from the last time I ran for office.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was just proof.
Things went weird and sideways once we actually filed.
That's what I mean.
I mean, you kind of have to swear allegiance about money to Satan.
It's all about money and power. That's it. The big money that runs this country will give the politicians power if they keep voting the way big money tells them to vote. So both wins. Big money gets more money. Politicians get more power.
And being an independent, I spoke to both parties.
I don't like either party.
I don't like them either. But basically it was like you got to swear allegiance to Fidel Castro. And the other was you have to swear allegiance to Hitler.
Wait, my dad's calling.
Hey, what's up, David?
Make you feel better?
Oh yeah, I was missing. He didn't call last week, did he?
He was out of town.
Oh,
He was on vacation, so he's back. He's back.
Should we make him a guest?
Just answer, hey, Dad, we'll call you back. No, I'll let him
I
know.
could plug in a third microphone. We just put him on speaker. Next week.
We'll answer him.
Tell him he has to call during recording. Anyway, let's go back. Bloody t-shirt.
Yep. Bed bug fecal matter.
Are you a biologist if you know what bed bug poop looks like?
Dude, I didn't think bed bugs are hard to see. So how do you see a bed bug turd?
Oh, I've seen a bed bug.
Yeah, a bed, but it's tiny.
It's like a giant flea, though, because fleas are smaller.
Yeah. So what's a bed bug turd look like? You'd think a human turd is extremely small compared to a human. So a bed bug.
I've had a lot of quesadillas one night.
Yeah, but you weren't seeing it with the naked eye. If you're looking
it was
at
the naked eye.
I'm saying bed bugs.
It swirled around.
I'm saying compared to the size of a bed bug, his turd you're not going to see with the naked eye.
I was very disappointed because I had breakage. If I didn't have breakage, I would have taken a picture of that swirl. So anyway, they have pictures of it all. I asked for a refund, and the staff working stated I would be given a full refund. Just checked my account, and not only did I not get a refund, he charged my credit card twice. This has been the worst experience I've ever had at any hotel.
I would imagine so.
It was called the Wyndham. What did you expect?
You found death and everything. I ain't got double charged.
So I'm going for the Wyndham again. Tori Elizabeth said awful, disgusting, is all I have to say. But then she says more. Does that mean she's a liar? Since she said this is all I have to say?
Probably.
Can we trust this review then? Yeah, it's a Wyndham. We can trust it. Never mind.
Well, the worse it is, the more true it probably is.
Yeah. The room I was give.
Oh, God.
Shouldn't she go past tense on that? Anyway,
yeah,
it was terrible.
She's not from Homewood, but she's not from far outside of Homewood.
Just like her sentence structure. The floor was caving in as soon as you walk in. Air wasn't on. The thermostat said it was 80 degrees. Excuse me. The dresser where the TV was missing 2 drawers. Oh, that's a little sketch. And the TV was bolted down. Aren't they all bolted down? Or was this a tube TV?
I don't know, man. I think they tape them on, right?
At Wyndham, maybe. Duct tape.
That's why they'd take the drawers out.
Smoke detectors were broken and wires were all out. The locks on the door were broken. The towels we had were filthy. That's all capital.
Why is she capitalizing?
Extra filthy.
It looks misspelled when you capitalize it.
The towel rack was barely hanging on the wall. Well, that's good.
At least it's hanging.
When we were at the Beach House Inn, it was just thrown on the floor.
It was in the closet.
There was no hotel room. Now, I mean, what did they rent her? The outhouse? The locks on the door were broken. Was she in a common area? There was also no hotel phone. The tub was awful, all capitalized. Does that make it extra awful?
Yep. Maybe
it had peeled paint all in it. Hair was all in it. The toilet and pee all over it. There was no toilet paper. The blow dryer on the wall was 2 inches thick with dust. The mirrors were disgusting. You couldn't even see yourself through them. The beds hadn't been made. There was cigarette burn holes in the covers. The headboards were dirty and streaky. There was rust all around the bed. 3 Coke bottles and trash all over the floor. This was the most horrible experience. We left within an hour because we had to find another hotel.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it sounds rough.
I would have left when there was no hotel room.
Yeah.
It was horrible. There was no room.
And then we got the Oyo. Oyo. Phoenix City.
Oyo.
Heath McGuire. That sounds like a legit name there. 1 out of 5.
Heath McGuire. That sounds like an actor.
Worst hotel I ever stayed in. Extremely dirty. Domino's Pizza would not even deliver to it, stating it's not very safe. Floor is very nasty. Sheets look like someone sat on them without wiping their butt.
Oh, man.
So streaks, basically.
But
in NASCAR, we call them racing stripes.
You had racing stripes on the sheets.
Whoa. Fire marshal should shut this motel due to hairdryer plug cut.
What?
That's what he says. Cut and missing prong on plug. So the ground plug was cut.
Oh, okay.
There's probably old wiring and they didn't have a third
Probably.
hole.
Yeah, just cut it out. Move on. Get over it.
Yeah.
Crackhead.
Do not stay here unless you're a crackhead.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's good advertising, though.
Mm-hmm.
Would you put that on the sign?
Yeah.
Crackheads welcome?
That's what I would put. So this is the last one.
Okay.
It's very sad.
All right. I don't know if
I did 2 reviews because they support each other. But this is the Siegel Select Montgomery.
Dude, I wouldn't. Okay.
Siegel Select?
Yeah, I've been to Montgomery.
I don't know. It sounds like
when we stayed in Montgomery that time, we stayed outside of Montgomery.
Way outside of Montgomery.
Yeah. Like 20 minutes outside.
That's just, it's like my hometown of Macon.
Yeah.
You don't want to go
You don't want to stay there.
They should say turn around instead of welcome. Save yourself. So I got this from TripAdvisor. They don't have full names there, but this was Kafif.
Yep, that's probably his first name.
Kafif gave it a 1 out of 5. He says beyond disgusting and pics to prove it. I shouldn't even say he. It could be a she.
Well,
They. That's better.
Them.
Them.
Zim.
Can I identify as a they?
Zine.
I'm going to identify as a they.
Or them.
Yeah.
Or those.
Is that my pronouns now?
They.
A person that I thought was strange asked, they gave me their pronouns, which I didn't know were pronouns. I was like, okay. And then they asked me what my pronouns were.
They say biggity biggity boo.
And I was like, I don't know.
Driver Cup Series.
And then they pressured me. This was at church.
What?
Yeah. So I got stage fright. And they're like, they asked me, do you know what pronouns are?
No.
And I did, but I said no, just to stop the conversation.
No. You should say, I'm dyslexic.
No. And I sounded completely stupid at that point when I went, no. But I just didn't want to go any further.
A pronoun is a professional noun.
I didn't want to go any further down the pronoun. But anyway, they got the pictures to prove it. One of the reasons we wanted to stay here is because they had a functioning pool. However, as you can see by the photo, and there is a photo, my husband scooped up 3 huge turds out of it.
Were they bed bug turds or real people turds?
They look human.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think a dog could squat over the side of the pool and drop one. I mean, it was really nasty. I'm surprised TripAdvisor even allowed them to post the pictures of turds.
Yeah, I mean, that's offensive to turds.
So we also had to change rooms in the beginning because there was a water leak in the kitchen. Our room number 109 was handwritten on the wall, so it was easier to find.
There's our room.
We had to ask for soap. There was only one set of old tiles, and not to mention bugs. Every time I turned the bathroom light on, we stayed and just got the heck out and never looked back. So sad, so run down. Wow. So they didn't mention this, but if they did not have toilet paper, pooping in the pool, you wouldn't have to use toilet paper, would you?
Just shake your butt off in the chlorine and clean it right off. Yeah. That's probably why there was turds in the pool, because they didn't have toilet
Probably. It was
paper.
clean.
If you would have put toilet paper in those rooms, you would have never have turds in that pool.
But then Adrian J gives it a 1 out of 5 on TripAdvisor. Terrible place, nasty, and roaches. My stay was horrible. Staff is nasty. The place is never clean. Very nasty. Well, she's kind of repeating herself there,
Pretty
isn't
much.
she? The outsole smells bad. Feces all on the ground for 2 days. What does that mean?
Outside?
Did she just stay there 2 days?
Oh, maybe it was the poop from the pool that he scooped out.
He threw out in the yard?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't carry it around
No,
with
he
me.
probably just flung it over by the chairs.
Yeah, you wouldn't carry a turd with you. Nobody sent out a letter or had no concern about feces all on the ground.
Okay.
Why would you send out a letter? There's poop on the ground.
Watch out for the poop.
The people they have staying here, the kids jump all night long. What? It sounds like me as a kid, just hopping all over the place.
She ain't got kids.
They have no standards
Obviously.
that let any or everybody live here. That's that let.
Yeah, well, that let don't mean you got to be able to write either.
Tenants have all their belongings in front of the office. What does that mean? You check in your suitcase?
I knew she misspelled terrible at the beginning.
This place is terrible. I advised nobody to stay at this roach-infested place. Okay.
Look how she started it. That says torrible.
Yeah, torrible.
Torrible.
Torrible place.
That's torrible. That's just torrible.
Was she going to say tolerable at first?
Terrible.
And then she went tolerable?
All right, we're going to Talladega. Talladega is a 2.66 mile tri-oval. 33 degrees of banking in the turns. It has 4 turns. It is an asphalt track. It'll hold 120,000 people. NASCAR owns it. It opened in 1969. The race is at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Big Network of NBC, and it's also on SiriusXM and MRN Radio. For the fantasy stats here, Brad Keselowski has 27 starts, 6 wins.
That was his first win, wasn't it? At Talladega?
I watched him dominate for
and
many years.
He was driving for JR Motorsports in the Xfinity when he won it.
I don't know if it was his first, but I'm sure he won there with Junior Motorsports. Joey Logano also has 27 starts and 3 wins and 11 top 10s. Ryan Blaney has 16 starts, 2 wins, and 5 top 10s, which means he's either going to win it or wreck it. Denny Hamlin has 33 starts, 2 wins, and 14 top 10s. Chase Elliott has 13 starts, 1 win, and 6 top 10s. We have already raced here once this year. The top 10 for the spring Talladega race goes as Ross Chastain won it. Austin Dillon second. Kyle Busch finished third. Kyle Larson finished fourth. Martin Truex finished fifth. Eric Jones sixth. Chase Elliott seventh. Michael McDowell was eighth. Alex Bowman was ninth. And Kevin Harvick rounded out the top 10 at the spring race. So, that all being said, my picks for this weekend are Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, and Denny Hamlin.
Those are good picks. Ross, though, he's probably going to win. I'm going to go with him after seeing Texas. No one's getting revenge.
Okay.
No one. Right after him, I'm going Brad. As Brad's statistics prove, and I've seen vast improvement the last half of the season on Brad.
Yeah, a lot.
And then I'm going to go with Denny. I really hope a playoff driver wins this race. And then I'm going to go with Martin Truex. And you know what?
And really, it's just a matter of who gets lucky and finishes.
You know, we have listeners that aren't asking car fans.
Yeah.
What they don't know is Talladega made some real crappy seats really good when they moved the start-finish past the tri-oval.
Oh, that's what makes Talladega even that much better.
Yeah, they hit the
come
tri-oval.
They come out of turn 4, and they still got a ways to go.
Oh, yeah. And they hit that tri-oval. That's one small straightaway to the win column.
Now, Talladega is a fun race. We've been
beating and banging, man.
Season ticket holder for many, many years now. Just don't drink the water. Whatever you do, Talladega Super Speedway is really close to Anniston. Just to be on the safe side, I wouldn't drink it.
I think the last time I was there, like 2014, the bathrooms are disgusting.
Yeah, it's got the same.
Same?
Yeah. It still has.
Kind of like Atlanta Motor Speedway bathrooms.
Yeah, it's still got the old troughs and stuff. I don't know. Maybe they've updated it. I doubt it, but maybe. I haven't been in a year or two.
I know how.
I went last year.
I know how to pee in them.
It was the same.
I always thought that would be kind of difficult for women to pee in them.
I wonder if they have troughs. Maybe they have handles, like to hold on to. You lean back and hold on to these handles. Or maybe they hold on to each other. Hell, I don't know. I don't know if they have a trough in the women's bathroom, but all we got to do is go check. You just walk on in there when we get Talladega this weekend. And if anybody says anything, just say, no.
Hey, if there's a woman that's there for our curiosity, if there's no other, we don't want any nasty pictures. If there's no other women around, take a picture of the trough if it's there. Or you can just send us a DM on Twitter and say, hey.
No trough.
No trough.
There's no way there's a trough in the women's bathroom.
Well, it is Talladega, dude.
I mean, you're right. You're 100% right. It is in Alabama.
I mean, no joke. I could go there, pull out a folding chair and free parking and just people watch for the whole race, and I would be entertained.
I mean, I've camped at Talladega.
Me too.
And I'm not old enough to this day to camp at Talladega again. I don't know if there is an appropriate age to camp at Talladega.
There's still some things I saw there I'm not sure really happened because it was way out there.
There's things that happen at Talladega you don't want to admit in public. I mean, Talladega.
I'm not admitting on this podcast what I saw there.
Talladega is insane.
It's just
it's next level campground.
But you need to experience it.
I don't know. I think I would have been all right. I think I'd have been okay.
It's kind of like seeing aliens, though. You hear about it,
yeah,
and you're like, can't be that bad or that crazy.
That was back in like early 2000s. That was back in the heyday of NASCAR.
I saw
they sold out every track every week.
Rain on a Saturday. Someone had turned an old cardboard box, and they were holding a rope. A jacked up 4x4 truck was towing them through the mud. They were basically skiing on cardboard.
Yeah.
Naked.
Why naked, though?
I would wear underwear to protect myself. I don't know.
Male or female?
Both.
At the same time?
At the same time.
Two separate pieces of cardboard, or they're riding together?
Big piece of cardboard.
One piece of cardboard, one rope?
One rope, but things went wonky, and the dude got dragged for about 50 feet while the girl was just laying there in mud.
Oh, he was probably dragged on the front side, too.
I think he was too drunk to let go.
I think when your wiener lets go, you probably should let go, too.
I have a feeling his wiener got really damaged.
He got let go?
He didn't let go. You know, when you teach a kid how to ski, water ski?
No, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, when I learned how to water ski, my dad's driving the boat and screaming, let go, because I crashed.
You're supposed to let go.
Yeah.
It's just like kneeboarding or wakeboarding. You let go.
I'm getting towed through underwater going, yeah. And all I heard was, and then I finally let go, and my dad said, you gotta let go. Anyway.
All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I forgot to put my phone on focus, but I did go to pee. I see your notes for me.
I got to pee again.
Episode 34, next week's 35. Did we announce that?
We usually do randomly throughout the show, so you got us covered.
All right.
All right, thanks to everyone who follows us and shares our show on social media and listens each week. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and rate us. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Carb Backwards. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. And check out our website. We're racecarbackwards.com. Other than that, everybody have a good week. We'll catch you next week.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks for listening to Race Car Spelled Backwards.